cost of starting an Amazon business in 2023. Let's dive into this because this changes, by the way. This changes in terms of competition. It changes in terms of what business model you're doing. It changes as the years go on because Amazon's an ever evolving platform. Their fees get more expensive. Importing gets more expensive. Or if you're not importing, other fees, etc., like storage fees and stuff, all goes up. So in this video, I want to dive into what you need, the price, the money that you need to start Amazon in 2023. And I'm going to go over many different strategies, not just private label or not just online arbitrage. We're going to go over many different methods of selling. So stay tuned and let's dive into this. So, first of all, let's look at the different methods that you could do. So you might come on here you've probably got a method of selling in mind that you're thinking about starting with when coming onto this video. So I'm going to cover what you need to start, and this is my opinion, by the way, and what I know: retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, and private label. That's what I'm going to cover in this video, because I feel like I've got a multitude of experience in different areas. I haven't done every single model, or in a big way, but I have got a lot of experience talking to other sellers, and I've obviously sold a lot myself. So having sold for a few years, I think I'm a good person to answer this, and also I'm in a lot of communities, and I have my own communities. So let's start with retail arbitrage. Now, I think in 2023, for retail arbitrage, you most likely need at least, I would say, to give it a good go, £500. You need at least £500. Now, obviously, the more the better, but I would say you need, maybe £300 to £500, okay? You've got to understand, you've got to set up the seller account. You've got to set up the seller account. You've got to buy some initial stock. And then when that stock's sitting in there, not necessarily selling straight away, you've then got to buy some more stock so that you've got it turning over and turning over. So obviously you could just buy one product and sell that. But then obviously you've got to remember, if that takes a long time to sell, then you haven't got anything else selling. You've got fees that come off that. You've got a monthly selling fee as well. So that could just deduct all of the profit that you made on that product, and then you might end up not getting anywhere. So I would say, if you want to get off to a good start, £500. With online arbitrage, I think you're looking more at probably 500 to 1,000, and that's for the UK market only. I would say if you're looking to start in another marketplace like the German marketplace or the USA marketplace, honestly, I would say, we started with £10,000 to £15,000 when we started online arbitrage in the USA. I think it's, you need a lot more money out there, because obviously we're doing it from the UK. You have to set up your LLC and stuff like that for most people. So you need a lot more money. But for the UK, you need, I would say, minimum around about £500. You could do it with a little bit less, but once again, it's going to be a really, really slow, hard grind of growth to get there. So I would say you probably want £1,000 as a nice aim, but the more the better. I think we started with maybe 1,000, and then I quickly put in another 1,000, then another 1,000, and sort of went from there. I would say you need at least 1,000, just so that it's not like an absolute torturous process for you to actually go and build that business. Moving on to wholesale. Now, wholesale is a bit different, because I actually wouldn't advise anyone to do wholesale unless they've been doing online arbitrage or retail arbitrage for some time. The reason being is that you haven't got the prior experience. You haven't got the prior experience to know what you're buying, and you have to buy in larger quantities generally, which means that you could get yourself stung. Also, you need generally a lot more investment, and I wouldn't advise investing a load of money into a business that you don't understand how to do it, because you don't even understand how to do Seller Central, you don't understand how to do refunds properly, you don't understand how to do reimbursements, you don't understand customer messaging, you don't understand keeper graphs properly. All of this stuff you've got to learn before you start investing thousands and thousands of pounds into a business model. You also need a limited company, ideally, and in an ideal world, you need to be VAT registered to be taken, to be taken properly. A lot of people complain they can't open wholesale accounts because they try and start with wholesale when they're just a sole trader, and obviously you're not going to get taken seriously from a lot of wholesalers unless you're at least limited, ideally VAT registered. So, but having said that, to answer the question, how much do you need to start wholesale in the UK? Look, off the top of my head, I would say that yes, you can start it with the same amount that you can start online arbitrage for about 1,000. But once again, I wouldn't advise it. You need more than that, really. You need 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 to do it properly. But I wouldn't advise doing it because you haven't got the experience. Once again, you could get stung. start with a lower model, a lower barrier to entry model. And I mean lower in terms of the value the business has, because it's very personal. There's nothing wrong with doing retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. Start with a lower barrier to entry model. Learn what you're doing. Try and get up to get to a limited company, maybe even the VAT threshold. Then consider going on to wholesale. The experience, the contacts, and the revenue that you should have when you get to that stage, you'll be glad you didn't start until then. That's just my opinion. And then you've got private label or private label type stuff, or whatever you want to do, creating your own listings and stuff like that. You can, once again, you can start the private label type stuff, creating your own listings with a few £100. You can. People seem to forget that. Look at Etsy. Look, all the products are on Etsy. There's not much stuff like Etsy on Amazon, but you can put it on Amazon. Some people are hand making their own stuff and putting it on Etsy. Well, there's no reason you can't do that and put it on Amazon. People seem to forget that. People seem to forget that you can create a combination of what you want to do, what products you want to sell, get them from suppliers in the UK and do them on Amazon in the UK. You absolutely can do that. But if you're talking about, so that you can do that for a few £100. But if you're talking about private label in a real way, that I don't import from different countries yet. Well, I just bought my first item from AliExpress, but it wasn't a big import, to start doing our own sort of more private label type stuff. If you want to do, I don't do private label in a solid way though, but from what I know, I think to hit it hard, you need probably 3. What's going on? Quick interruption here, just to introduce my new sponsor. So I'm now sponsored by Prepared For You. I've been using this prep center for a fair few months now, and they've been fantastic. Okay, if you are interested in trying them out, I've got a link below. Click on the link below, the Prepared For You link, and you can get £50 off your first month with them. Type in Hayden into the coupon code when you're signing up to your desired package, and you can get £50 off. As I say, really recommend them. I've enjoyed their service, and yeah, very efficient, very communicational, and I will see you in the next video. Let's dive in. To £5,000, because you've got to import this stuff, you've got to spend it in PPC, you've got to buy enough stock so that you can get ranked on the listing, but you might not even make much money from it to start with. So I hear you need £3,000 to £5,000, maybe even a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, if you want to start private label. That's, once again, that's in the UK, guys. I can't talk for all the other markets. That's from what I know. So, but once again, would I advise it? Probably not. I think you need to, learn a basic model to start with, and then get into this stuff at a later date. Yes, I can get into whatever model I want now because I've got the contacts, the money, the resources. I've got the staff, I've got the virtual assistants, I've got a lot of experience and knowledge. I've launched my own products, I've sold my own products, I've resold products, I've sold, I don't know, probably coming up to 1 million now on the platform. Until you have that experience, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. It's just going to be making your life a lot harder for you. You haven't got the PPC experience and stuff like that. So but anyway, that's my outline of what I think that you need in 2023 to start whatever Amazon business you want. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see